Okay, so delicate machine, right? When I tell you this is this is from Vincenzo, right? You're gonna be like, wait, what? Vincenzo Natali has a music album? Yeah, that's right, kids. He has a music album. And it's good, right? You know what I mean? Like, as I said, when Cynthia hit me up, I thought we were talking about films. Thought that's what we'd be talking about, films. But the comic book, right, that makes a, you can see that a bit more. But the music album, you're just like, wait, am I reading this right? He's made a music album. So it's 9 tracks, right? 9 tracks. And yeah, it's you probably say it's electronic, ambient, right? Techno tinged, it's that kind of thing. Now, this is what, like, I've got a little bit of text. Yeah, so he also created the techno-inspired album Delicate Machine, right? The album contains 9 tracks combining industrial sound, synth, and piano for a mixture of aggressive and ambient tones. The careful listener may find them reminiscent of some of the music of Natalia's films. And yeah, I think, well, not just his films, but just there's films in general that you can go, oh, you know what I mean? Like, I was listening to this and I was thinking, like, Tron came to mind straight away. You know what I mean? Like Tron. And I was like, oh, yeah. Or like, the scenes in The Matrix and things like that. You think, oh, this could work. This could work. Man, this could be good. Right? And we've seen like Daft Punk, Aphex Twins, Orbital, right? Do good music scores. I think it was either Daft Punk or Orbital did Danny the Dog, right? Back in the day, which that was, I don't know about the film, right? I didn't love it, but I thought the soundtrack was pretty great. I enjoyed the soundtrack. And electronic isn't necessarily the music I gravitate to. Now, back in the day, I was out every weekend to drum and bass, like hard step, you know what I mean? I wasn't happy jungle, you know what I mean? That wasn't my thing, the white gloves, and that wasn't me. I'm like the Groove Rider, the Randall, right? That kind of thing. Fabio, Ronnie Size, Ed Rush, those were my things. Goldie, just all of those dirty fucking beats, right? That's how I get down. That's my kind of flavor, my vibe. So, sometimes I'll listen to some electronic stuff and I'll be like, yeah, that's it. And Delicate Machine, because I was worried, people. I was worried, right? Like, look, when you're going to sit down with someone, you want to know that you can be really effusive about their work, right? That there's a lot to talk about, right? Be like, oh, tell me how you did, and that was great. But when something is not great, you can still have a fun conversation, but it's not quite the same. So, yeah, I was so happy when I listened to this, man. Like, the opening track, Glitch, really kind of, it felt like it's a like an intro. You know what I mean? Like were meeting at the person, right? That's what that felt like, kind of thing. And then we got these other great tracks like Delicate Machine, No Sun, Dragonfly. I think maybe my favorite on the album. Man, I just love the way that all comes together, right? You've got things like Spook at Night and You. Kind of feel like these revelation moments, It is a really interesting sonic adventure. And the other big thing with this as well, right? You listen to Delicate Machine and you kind of feel a lot of this could go with tech, right? Vincenzo's graphic novel. Like, a lot of the sounds could work very well with certain scenes and you know what I mean? Like, yeah, it's interesting. But they were made in separation, right? That's the big thing. They were made in separation. Like Delicate Machine, Vincenzo made during the pandemic, right? And it says that Natali let his iPad lead him through the recording process, discovering sounds much as one might find objects washed up on a beach, and then joining them and building upon them until they found a pleasing shape. A self-professed non-musician, Natali's musical technique relies on childlike curiosity and exploration. It was never his intent to release this music publicly. Indeed, much of this album was recorded on airplanes away from Vincenzo to curb his fear of flying. Which is, it's funny, man. He said, I would compose these tracks while on an airplane to distract me from my fear of being shot across the sky in a metal tube. However, over the period of years during which the tracks emerged, the album took on a life of its own, finding a theme and an oral connectivity seemingly independent of his original intentions. Right? It's, man, yeah, it's very interesting, and especially when you know it's coming from someone that isn't musically inclined, right? Not musically inclined. I think it makes it even more fascinating. Right now, look, you like, nothing's going to take away from someone who has spent years learning their craft, right? Nothing's going to take away from that. But there is definitely room for projects such as this, right? Because it's interesting, right? It still invokes, like, this thing inside when you listen to it. And that's the point of music, right? That's the joy of music, of putting it on and being transported somewhere, or having this imagery, right? Having this imagery show up and you're like, yo, man, that would work with this, or that's this, and ooh, right? That's what you want. And that's what Delicate Machine does. It's just slightly over 34 minutes. So it's not a long thing. It's not a long thing at all. But it will just hypnotize you. It will hypnotize you. It will keep you on this sonic adventure. Keep you on this adventure, man. And that is fantastic. So yeah, maybe play it as you're reading tech. I don't know. However you do these things. But Delicate Machine is most definitely worth checking out. And you can get it on all your favorite streaming platforms. We've got links for Spotify, Apple Music, Here Now, and Amazon Music on the website. So if you want to check it out, people, just hit one of those links and you got it. Or find it on your own. I don't mind. Just give it a listen. Delicate Machine.